14 minutes past. What's going to happen in South Carolina? It's anybody's guess. Martha and I will be here at 4 o'clock with a big show tomorrow afternoon. Then we'll take you through prime time into the evening in South Carolina as it votes. The economy, it's going to be an issue. How big of an issue? On our map here, economic landscape, the deeper the red, the more trouble you're in. If you're green, you're doing okay. How is South Carolina doing at the moment? Unemployment rate statewide, 9.9%. That's an absolute stunner. Well above the national average. Look to see the economy, the issue of jobs, again, be a big deal for South Carolinians when they vote. Result-wise, what can we learn from 4 years ago? On our map here in South Carolina, one of the things that kind of gets lost in this whole analysis from 4 years ago, McCain beat Huckabee by 3 points, but look at Fred Thompson. Fred Thompson, no one talks about him, 16% of the vote. He picked up almost 70,000 votes and finished in third place. Huckabee would argue that Thompson stole a lot of votes away from him. How do you break down the state? Essentially three different regions. Evangelicals here in the north. Huckabee did very well up here, but so too did Fred Thompson, taking away some of Huckabee's strength. Fiscal conservatives here in the center part of the state where the capital is, and down here along the coastline you have veterans, you have transplants from the northeast, but more moderate Republicans, moderate conservatives down along those coastal counties. Charleston County is a place where John McCain did very well. He easily won this county, 44% of the vote, defeating Romney and Huckabee and Thompson with 15,000 votes, so a lot of votes to be mined down in that area. The other part of the state that I think is very critical is the northern part of the state. They call it upstate. Here in Greenville County, look what Huckabee did here. So many votes to be mined here. 16,000 votes for Huckabee, about 15,000 for McCain, and Thompson at 12,400. So that's some of the things that we'll be watching as we go throughout the day tomorrow. I want to bring in Chad Connelly, South Carolina Republican Chairman. Chad, good morning to you. Thank you for your time.
Good morning, Bill.
So many events of Thursday are playing out today. Perry drops out. Gingrich gets slammed by his ex-wife. You have the debate night last night. How do these events work into tomorrow's vote, do you believe, Chad?
Well, Bill, great to be with you. And there's no question, here we are again in the South Carolina primary. It seems like the rough and tumble world of politics is so prevalent here, and you see the dynamics changing. I've been saying for the last 10 days since the New Hampshire primary, don't listen to the national narrative. This is a wide open race. Anything can happen. I had a hunch that somebody would drop out early. I didn't know really who it would be specifically or who they might endorse, but we've seen it play out. And I think right now the interesting thing to watch, you pointed out the upstate. Watch those votes in Greenville, Spartanburg. Those two counties make up almost 17% of the Republican primary vote. And also watch that first district along the coast and the third district where a lot of Republican votes are. It'll tell the tale.
Is that Charleston?
But the biggest thing I think is the grassroots organization.
Is that
I'd like to see how the grassroots organizations that have been built translate into votes on Saturday.
Yeah, I hope you can hear me okay. I didn't mean to interrupt you there. Is that Charleston or is that Myrtle Beach that you're talking about? Along the coast?
Well, all along the coast, Charleston and Myrtle Beach, that first district where Tim Scott represents right now, it's like you said, there are a lot of retirees there, a lot of transplants there, and those numbers are interesting to watch along with the upstate.
Okay. How would you rate the level of enthusiasm for the current field in your state?
I think it's high, Bill. I mean, I've been to a little bit of everybody's events in the past 10 days and kind of just staying in the back of the room. There have been hundreds of people coming out, and I think that's helped by, we had 5 candidates crisscrossing the state and 6 at first. So there were a lot of events in a lot of little towns, and we had some chances to see just hundreds of people come out at kind of big venues and packed rooms all across the state of South Carolina. It's been high on the enthusiasm level.
Yeah. Who do you believe has spoken to the #1 issue in South Carolina today? And what would you say that issue is?
None of them can escape it. And so they're all talking about jobs and economy, like you mentioned before. I mean, look, the Obama administration has done some things here that are just government intervention at its highest level. To think that the NLRB would intervene in the Boeing situation and try to stop South Carolinians from having jobs, the voter ID law, the immigration law. So we're not just seeing the spending and the deficits in the Obamacare that hurt jobs and economy. We're seeing real, just overt government intervention in our state like we've really not had before.
Well, you also have, many would argue, the advent of the Tea Party that many would argue was born out of South Carolina's congressional makeup. So that's something we have to keep an eye on too, Chad. So thank you for your time.
Yes, sir.
We'll see how it goes tomorrow.
Thank you, Bill.
Chad Connelly runs the Republican Party down there in South Carolina. You as well, Martha.